What is up, everyone? Renfail here, and I want to talk a little bit about the multiplayer experience in Enshrouded. It was really fun. Like, we had a great time today. Streamed for about 3 hours. If you didn't get a chance to watch the episode, it's all good. Check the playlist below. You'll find links to it. And after that, we were talking in Discord about what a great time we had and how it's pretty amazing how even with the game in an early access state, the combat feels really good, even though we haven't even gotten that many skill points down the skill line, which just points to a game that, for those of us who like these styles of games, it's really fun, and it's nice to have a satisfying experience from the get-go. So, with that being said, since it was our very first multiplayer session, I had some takeaways that I wanted to bring to you in this video, kind of talk about some tips and tricks for the multiplayer sessions that you might be playing with your friends to help you get the most out of it, so that you don't fumble around and do some of the things that we've done. So without further ado, we're going to talk multiplayer today in this video. Now, if you haven't already done so and you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. I stream daily, usually around noon central here and on Twitch, multi-streaming. The day-to-day happens on this channel, of course. We play a lot of different games, do a lot of different things. There's movie reviews, TV shows, all sorts of different stuff. Check the Discord. Yeah, lots of different stuff. Anyway, first and foremost, if you're going to be playing multiplayer, we did everything through Steam. So, being friends with everybody on Steam, and then I hosted the game, and everyone just joined my hosted server. I'm not running a private server or anything like that. I just used the hosted games that they provide as part of, when you're setting up an online session. We did have some wonkiness that we had to work out of the connectivity getting people in, but we did find a workaround. I've got a separate video up on that. This of course is early access, and there are some tweaks that you have to do here and there to make things work. But overall, it was a very, very pleasant experience. We have our server set up to support up to 16 people, and today we had 6 joining us. There will be people who are joining, leaving, dropping in, dropping out over the course of this. At the very least, for the moment, we're just looking at this being like a 2-month adventure that we're doing for the course of like February and March. It may go beyond that, you never know, but for the moment, that's what it's going to be. Sunday mornings at noon for those of you who want to follow along. First and foremost is the fact that you really need to think about getting a structure built, and to that end, we built a very simple structure here, just to house our first NPCs. In this case, we already have the blacksmith, and we're currently working on some other stuff right now. And we set up all of our initial crafting areas. So I would suggest that you start off with just go in the order that the game tells you to go, which is going to be essentially getting the blacksmith as quickly as possible, building yourself a crafting table, and then immediately following that up with a kiln and then a forge. That's going to be enough to get you all of the early gear stuff that you need. So that's tip number 1. Build your structure and build your amenities that you need for crafting as quickly as possible. The next thing to do, and this is cool because they just added this in the recent patch, the next thing you do is you need to make these little boxes right here. So if we go to the, I'm not used to playing this on the mouse and keyboard, I usually use a controller. We're going to go down to the storage, and it is the small magic chest. You are going to want to make these as quickly as possible. So here's the key here. These items, the items stored here can be used for crafting purposes from anywhere in the base. This is hugely important because all of you who are playing together are pooling your resources in multiplayer. So everyone's pulling from the same resource pool. So whether it's wood pieces or twigs for arrows or metal scraps or shroud pieces or shroud water, things to make food, everybody needs the same things, whether it's to make your armor, weapons, and etc. So when you first start out, you're only going to be able to make these little normal boxes. That's fine to use to get going, because you'll eventually need one of these to convert into one of these blue boxes. And once you do that, as you can see, you can stuff all of your resources into the storage chest, and then it doesn't matter what crafting utility you're using in your home base, it will pull from that box. Everybody pulls from the same place, and it allows you to very quickly and easily get your resources available for everybody who's playing with you. Now, the other thing to pay attention to here is that because there are multiple people playing, you have multiple people who can be doing different things. And so what we were doing during our first session is like a couple of people were focused on building the building, and the rest of the people were out just gathering resources, bringing them out, throwing them into the boxes, and then kind of everybody's independently going out and just gathering resources as we continue to build out this place, flesh it out, build our first sets of armor and everything else. And then periodically we would say, okay, it's time to go on an adventure because we want to go get the blacksmith, or we want to go get this. We feel we've geared up enough. It's time to go to the next section. Let's go ahead and stash everything in the boxes, and we're going to go out and go on a mission together. And from here, you can really go out and explore. So just remember, shared resources, that's a big thing. You want those magic chests as quickly as possible. The next thing is going to be a bed. You're going to want to make a bed as quickly as possible. Now, it's not going to show it at the moment because it's daytime, but when you sleep at night, it speeds up the passage of time if you sleep during that, but it only does it when you're sleeping during the night. So at nighttime, if you don't want to be adventuring at night, you could sleep here. Now, because there are multiple people here, the way that we saw it, and I'd love to see if someone can confirm this because we played with 6 people today, I believe it scales up to 4 people is my understanding of it. So when you rest in a single player campaign, it speeds up the passage of time by 60%. So it's times 60 is what it'll tell you when you're resting at night on a single player server. Now when we did it here, because we only have one bed, it's 15% as opposed to 60%, and you need 4 beds to get to the 60, so you need to have 4 people sleeping. But this is still a great way to pass time more quickly. So if you have people who are out and about in the field who are adventuring abroad at nighttime because they need specific resources or whatever, and they get done and they want to hurry up the passage of time, as long as 1 or 2 people are back at your home base with a bed, they can sleep, and the passage of time for the whole world goes more quickly, which means you can more quickly bring the nighttime to an end so that your friends who are adventuring in the field have a chance to actually have sunlight and not be attacked by crazy nasty monsters in the nighttime, because it's dangerous. So make a bed as quickly as possible as you can after that. Now, beyond that, I know this is in a lot of people's tips, guides, videos, but I would second this, is that you need to make, and I can't remember if it's here or if it's at the blacksmith. It's here. You want to make a glider, and you want to make a grappling hook as quickly as possible. The glider is going to be great for jumping off of high places and floating around everywhere, and the grappling hook is great for being able to get up onto places and go where you need to go. The grappling hook, as an example, we were looking at doing one of the quests today. We got to the quest location and found out that we couldn't get to where we needed to get because not everyone had grappling hooks. So we found out that, oh, that's actually really important that everyone gets a grappling hook as quickly as possible. If you have to pick between the two, the glider is secondary. The grappling hook is a mandatory item for exploration. The glider is sort of like quality of life. It helps you, get around more quickly, but the grappling hook enables you to go places that you just can't get to without it. So you need to make a grappling hook as quickly as possible to help with exploration, and then after that you can work on the glider. The other thing is that as of this patch, that is the most recent patch that they just did, they have brought the timer down on everything to 30 minutes, meaning that everything respawns within 30 minutes, as long as you're not near the area. So if we go out here right now and we run around our base, we're going to find lots of things that we can harvest. There's mushrooms right over there. There's trees. There's a bunch of these bushes right here that we can see. There's probably some bunny rabbits and wolves and things over here in this area. If we make a circuit here and gather all of those resources and then stay here, they won't respawn. But if we gather all the resources and then go somewhere else for at least 30 minutes, they will then respawn. So the big thing is to pay attention to where you're harvesting things and then come back 30 minutes later. That tip right there goes hand in hand with, if you go into your crafting panel here, which is, well, I'll just go over here to the craft and repair. The manual crafting, the flame altar right here. Place this flame altar above the shroud to mark, it says your home, but here's the thing. You can have multiple homes. You can have multiple flame altars set up. So one of the things you want to do is when you're going out and you're mapping resources and you find something, we haven't done it yet on this server, but that's why I'm giving you the tip to do this, because you have to level up your this is all in one here. This is going to be the slightly convoluted one because I probably should have started with this, but I don't have show notes, so I'm just going. One of the things you want to do is strengthen um, your flame, and so that'll grow your altar activation capacity up to 4, which means you can place up to 4 altars in the world. Why do you want 4 altars? Why do you want 6 altars? Why do you want more? Well, they act as fast travel waypoints. So we made a mistake. You'll notice this here. We have 2 of these placed next to each other. Now the home level one's not doing anything, so I could go over there and get rid of that. But it's counting as one of ours right now. So if I were to click on this and then fast travel, what it's going to do is it's going to take me to that other location. So you want to be able to place these in strategic locations. So you'll see if I run out of here, my home is right over here. This was just a mistakenly double placed from the beginning, and we could probably get rid of that one, but I'm nervous to do so because it might destroy things. So I haven't done it yet. I'm terrified. Anyway, one of the things you want to do is as you find things like mines, and like this location, Rookmore, for us, we found was a great place for metal scraps. We're going to go back and we're going to place a fast travel waypoint there. And there's another mine we found, somebody did, and I don't remember where it was now. But you can, as you find mines in other areas or locations, what you could do is you can set up those fast travel waypoints near areas where you are going to want to repeatedly go to for resource harvesting. However, also notice that these ancient spires can be used as fast travels as well. Once you've unlocked them, we haven't unlocked that one yet. We have a quest up there to do it. And when you do, that also acts as a fast travel waypoint. So you can sort of strategically look at where do I have spires unlocked versus where do I want to place my homes. And that allows you to quickly and easy get around the map. So always carry around a spare. One of these altars, and then as long as you have the capacity to place it, you can then find a location and say, oh, I want to place this, and use it as a fast travel to get back to my friends as quickly as possible. The other thing to pay attention to is that the quests are globally updated for everyone who's playing at the time. Now, if somebody doesn't make a session and the rest of us play and they come back, there is a downside to this. If they needed quest credit for something, they won't be able to get quest credit in the multiplayer session because we will already have done the credit without them. So that is one caveat to bear in mind. And you can bring, this is the cool thing, it's a weird thing, but you can select the character that you're going to join a multiplayer session with. So you can bring your own solo character, or you can bring a character that you have specifically set up for the multiplayer sessions. We all have characters that we made just for the multiplayer sessions, and then we all have single player characters as well. So what we're doing for these sessions, because we're playing Sunday mornings, it's locked in. This is the group. We're not too worried about the story per se because we're doing that on our solo characters, but we are looking for that multiplayer adventure. And so if someone can't make it, it's not that big of a deal because we're still progressing our home, our base, getting more materials, building up to take on the next challenge, the next adventure, and everything scales in difficulty. I believe from like 1 to 4 players, and anything after 4, I think it's that's what I've heard. I don't know the math on that, but it does scale in difficulty depending on how many people you have. So I can say that we had 6 people, and it was so different than playing single player because the enemies were much tougher. Which brings me to another tip, which is quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. You need to make sure that you have a tank if you're going to be doing multiplayer stuff. I went ahead and set myself up as the warrior for this group. The moment that I was able to make this armor set right here, which is the level 8 Rising Fighter set, I made that and we went adventuring. There was a place where we went and we all got like one-shotted, two-shotted. We went back and I was in a full suit of this gear and you know, the shield and everything. Didn't have any problem. I literally was able to walk up in the middle of it, just hunker down. Even without my shield, I was taking damage, but it wasn't, I could take 7, 8, 9, 10 hits as opposed to the 1 or 2 hits from before. So getting someone who's tanky who can get up there and take the hits to distract all of the mobs so that your mages and your range DPS and everybody else can stand back from a distance and rain hellfire down. Play it like you would a traditional RPG, like a traditional MMO or traditional tabletop game. You need a fighter, at least one, to get up in there and do the stuff, and go from there. Um, it's incredibly complex. If you start looking at the skills that you need to go through the game, there's a lot of different skill trees here and these class builds that you can do, but you can mix and match any of these that you want to. And this is where I'm going to say the next tip for me lies, is that when you're doing this, everyone should go towards the double jump as quickly as possible. This allows you to jump twice, and it allows you to go places that you wouldn't be able to get to otherwise, and also helps you when you're building things because you can get up on top of other structures to build other structures. So the double jump is hugely important, and it does take a few points to get there, but you're going to get endurance, the endurance along the way, which is a great stamina attribute, and then you get this runner one, which increases your speed by 10%, your stamina consumption decreased by 10%, and then you go over here to the double jump. Once you're done with double jump, I would argue that after that point, you can then do whatever you want, whatever spec you want. I'm going to be going down the tank spec. The reason for this is because I am the tank for the group, so I'm particularly interested in these two right here. The Nemesis ability, whenever an ally draws the attention of an enemy, you draw it in equal measures, so it means I can get the mob back on me with, with my aggro abilities. And then Arch Nemesis, whenever an ally draws the attention of an enemy, you draw it twice as much. So this is pretty much guaranteed immediate aggro back to you. So I'm going to be going all the way down this line as quickly as possible, because I'm the tank for the group. And so anytime we're out and exploring, I'm going to be focused on that. Now, we're all crafting, but the way we've got our group set up is that some people like to do things more than others. So it's very easy for us to, because we're doing this in group chat too, and this is what I would suggest for all of you to do, is strategically plan what you're going to be working on. Because if everyone's pulling from if everyone is pulling from these chests nilly-willy, then you'll run out of resources very quickly. And so it's much better to strategize and go, oh, everybody needs grappling hooks. Okay, let's focus on everybody getting grappling hooks. Okay, everyone's done with grappling hooks. All right, everybody needs a set of armor now. Okay, everybody's done with their set of armor. Okay, let's go ahead and now we'll make health potions. Everybody's good for health potions. Okay, now let's get ready for an adventure. What's the quest we want to work on now? And then you can go out, do that quest, fill up your inventory, come back, dump it all off, repeat that process. You'll gain some levels, get some skill points, and go from there. So our initial multiplayer session went very well. We're still very early in the game. We played 3 hours. We got this structure built. We got our blacksmith. We did the first well. And now we're currently working on, because we got to get this done. So we need to get a spark. We're only lacking a spark right now. So the next part of our adventure is to find a spark so that we can upgrade this area and go from there. So we're going to be working on that next session. And also, I think we still need one more grappling hook for somebody. And then we're going to go from there. So those are some quick tips for multiplayer in Enshrouded. Hopefully that helped for those of you who are playing this for the first time. I'm really enjoying this game, both single player and multiplayer. But if you want to watch us play together, we'll be doing that every Sunday at 12 noon Central here on my YouTube channel, but also on Twitch. So choose where you want to watch live. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update here. Check out all the other games that I play, all the other lists, everything else. And if you're a channel member here, don't forget to check out the recent member videos up above, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Stay safe. Happy gaming, everybody.